Guys, how's it going? What's going on? Jesus loves you. She says hi. That's Tiana.
Hey, Jenna.
I'm making a video, right? So, I just saw the movie Hurry Up Tomorrow with Jenna Ortega and The Weeknd. And the movie was awesome. I really, really liked it. It's kind of avant-garde. It reminded me a little bit of David Lynch, where the storyline isn't exactly straightforward. It's more straightforward than a David Lynch, so it does make most sense. But there are some questions there when at the end, especially, you may question certain things that happen, and it's kind of left up for interpretation. So the cinematography is awesome. It's actually kind of an experience. The way the camera moves is pretty wild. There's some scenes in there I've never seen done before, where the camera's just like spinning around and around and around. They must have used drones. Some really great camera footage. The club scenes were wild with the lights, and they had a warning in the beginning of the movie about the flashing lights for epileptics. And yeah, you needed that warning, trust me. So that was pretty wild. Obviously, the acting was awesome. The Weeknd was super good actor. I was surprised about that, and it was great to hear his voice. There's an a cappella scene, which was really cool. Spoiler alert, there's going to be some talk about the movie here. And obviously, Jenna Ortega is amazing. I think she's like one of the best actresses nowadays, and everything she does is awesome. And she did a dance scene to like 3 different Weeknd songs, which was super cool. And she seems to dance in all her movies and shows, right? Starting with Wednesday. And then, what was after that? Oh yeah, Beetlejuice. She had a dance scene to that. Someone left the cake out in the rain. Right? So, the movie's super deep. The topic is super deep. It talks about loneliness and childhood trauma, addiction, selfishness, self-centeredness, relationships, broken relationships, toxic relationships, healthy relationships, issues with moms, fame, fortune, ego, and even spirituality. And I want to get to that. So in the movie, you have this Weeknd character, right? He's a rock star or a singer, super big, famous, and he has a lot of personal problems. He just went through this really bad breakup with this woman that he loved. She broke his heart, but it turns out that he was doing some pretty bad things to her. They don't really get into what exactly that was. And he's dealing with, drinking, drugs, all these kind of things. And he meets this fan in the crowd when he's basically having a breakdown, and who is Jenna Ortega, and she basically kind of saves him. Okay, so she's kind of like the Messiah figure in the movie. Although she has to bring him through a lot of pain first before he gets freedom. The way I saw it was that she was sort of a part of him. She may not even have been real. It could have been just a figment of his imagination or some spiritual guide that helped him in his journey. And you sort of see that at the end, the way they kind of leave it up for question. Now, quick thought about avant-garde type artsy kind of movies. They're a different kind of thing. So you're not watching, not every scene is going to be super fast, entertaining. You're not watching an action film, right? Or a documentary. It's a lot of it's about the visuals and the feeling that you're getting, right? So if you're watching a movie like that and you're starting to get bored or whatever, and you realize, oh, this is an artsy kind of thing like David Lynch does, right? Or Ingmar Bergman, then you would start to watch the movie as if it's a painting, right? So just as you would look at a painting, you would look at this and have your own thoughts about this. This might bring up a memory for you. You might think, well, what does the artist mean by this? This here is not much representation, right? But other paintings might have different ideas, like a Salvador Dali painting. What does he mean by the clock? What does he mean by this? What do you think that represents? Or what does that represent for me? Oh, how does this make me feel? Okay, so when you're watching like an artsy kind of film, that's how you have to like relax into it and let it be a picture. And you can look at every single shot of the movie as a picture, right? Because film is just photography rapidly changing, right? So each shot is a photo, and a good director, good cinematographer will think of a film that way, so that every shot is done with intention, and it's supposed to look and bring a feeling, and like that. So Stanley Kubrick's another great director. Spike Lee, I already mentioned Ingmar Bergman, one of my favorites. Alejandro Jodorowsky, right? A lot of good directors out there. So, getting into the spiritual elements of the film.